Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about a weary and exhausted Venus in Virgo from 9th of September to 3rd of October. It has been combust in Leo. It has been having a difficult time, and now it is tired and depleted in Virgo. So, how to deal with it, what to do. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking about Venus in Virgo. September is very busy month. I'm going to be posting a lot of information. The next one will be about Saturn, Ketu, and Saturn going direct. So do remember to subscribe as well as press the bell notification. September and even further on, lots of new information. I post at least twice a week, sometimes even 3 times a week if the planets are busy. And so do remember to subscribe. And so Venus in Virgo, it happens once a year. It's not unusual, but every year Venus goes into Virgo. And this is always a time to watch out, to be aware of it. This year it is from 9th of September to 3rd of October. And Venus in Virgo is debilitation energy for Venus. It's where it is at its weakest. It is not able to perform to its highest energy. So if we understand the ebb and flow of planets, we know that this is a time that Venus is not going to be strong. So we can take some, balancing steps for it. But something more positive is happening with this Venus in Virgo is that Mercury is also there from 10th onwards up to 28th of September. So Mercury is actually supporting Venus, and this is called a cancellation of debilitation. So we see that Venus gets supported for most of this transit, but there is a cost to it in a sense, because as soon as Mercury comes into Virgo, and then from 12th onwards, 12th to 15th, Mercury and Venus are in war and they are fighting, and it's irritating, and you may get into a squabble with a best friend. You're not getting along. And when Venus and Mercury come into a war, it's usually difficult to separate them. Luckily, this time it's only 3 days. So just watch out for those 3 days. But after that, Venus is being very ably supported because Mercury is exalted. But Venus is still combust. It's still coming out of the shadow of the sun. So it's not visible in the sky. And we are still feeling that exhaustion of Venus in Leo, and burnt out energy for Venus in Leo, and then going into Virgo. It feels that, but there is support, there is help, so that will elevate the situation and alleviate the problem. So that is a good factor of this Venus in Virgo. It doesn't change its nature. Venus is Karaka for relationships, so you have to be a little bit careful. You're not being overcritical about relationships. You're not being nitpicky and always seeing the smallest little problem. So try to avoid that. Use this time for, rejuvenating, helping yourself to regenerate yourself, and also regarding your own body image, who you are. This would be a good time to look after yourself, because Venus also deals with beauty and with finances. And in Virgo, it's very business-like as far as finances are concerned. So it will help you to organize your money and financial situation. But as far as your own beauty or your femininity is concerned, you may be being very overcritical and worrying about them. And lots of planets will come into Virgo but actually Venus will not have an exact conjunction with any of those planets. Actually, it's slowly moving away from the sun. It is moving away from Mercury, and Venus are moving away from each other as well. So although they are together, they are not bothering each other. Actually, Mercury is supporting Venus and helping it. So that is a good aspect. Now, the nakshatras that we look at, as far as the nakshatras are concerned, Venus is going to go through the same nakshatras as Mercury has gone through. And then Sun will go through them. And then later on, Mars will also go through them. Uttara Phalguni, Venus will be from 9th to 17th of September. Phalguni, it is the luxury bed. It is the beautiful energy. But Uttara Phalguni's devata is Aryaman, and Aryaman sets out the rules of engagement. What are the laws? What are the rules? And Venus in Virgo, and then Mercury's also been through the same nakshatra, is giving us some guidance. So this may be a time to think about what are the rules I want to deal with? How am I going to work with all this situation? And set up some rules for yourself. As I said, that 4 planets are going to go through Uttara Phalguni. And it is important to keep a check on your anger, because sometimes Uttara Phalguni can remain cool, but then suddenly if they get angry, it is like a bull in the china shop. So you can be quite destructive. So be careful about that. But otherwise, it's good to spend time to give some guidelines to yourself and to set up realistic goals that you're going to achieve at a later date. Hasta, Venus will be there 17th of September to 28th of September. Hasta is all about the mind and about thinking and about uh, desiring to improve yourself and to also be of service to other people. Hasta means the hand. And often when we have planets in Hasta, we think we can achieve everything, we can do everything. And Venus is not at its best here, even though it's supported. So don't feel I can do everything alone, I can work things out, but more to take time out and to relax and, take life slowly at this time. And finally, when Venus goes into Chitra, it's a very interesting 2-part story of Chitra. The other part of the story will be when I talk about Venus in Libra. But the thing is, this Chitra has 2 Vargotama padas, and Venus is the only planet that gets debilitated at its exact Vargotama position. And from 28th of September to 3rd of October, Venus is going to be in Chitra. And Chitra is a position where Venus has 2 padas of its Vargotama padas, but only one of them is in Virgo. So part of the Chitra transit is done as Venus in Virgo. And Venus is the only nakshatra that is debilitated as it is Vargotama as well. So what Venus is saying at that time, and the Venus is going to be exactly debilitated on 1st of October, and then the debilitated pada is 1st to 3rd of October, which is Vargotama as well. And it would be take me as I am. I don't worry. As far as relationships are concerned, this is what it is. If I look like this, that is right. If I'm being critical, that is who I am. So that is, I think, the beauty of Venus debilitated is that it's comfortable in that phase, because that is just a phase of life. It will also go away. But in Chitra, there can be an overemphasis on beauty, overemphasis on perfectionism, trying to get everything just right. And we know that life is not just right. So we should just enjoy what life has to offer and accept what the energy is. And don't try to perfect everything during that time. And from 3rd of October, it's another energy. Venus will be in Libra, everything will be fine. So remember that. So how is it going to affect the sign? So let's start with Aries. Aries is Venus in Virgo is the sixth house. And so health is a factor. Organize your health, be conscious, be aware of opposition. You may find opposition from women as well. And, you're always thinking about competitiveness and how to resolve things. This can be also difficult for marriage or any relationship you're in. So be careful about that. Uh, Taurus. Venus is in the fifth house of children, of creativity, of higher self. But as your Lagna Lord is debilitated, or your Moon Lord is debilitated, this is an important time that you're taking out to rest and relax and rejuvenate yourself. Don't be overcritical about yourself. This is not the best time to think about that, but you may come across lots of good ideas. You have a lot of support from friends and people. So take that. And there's only few days of it where Venus is really debilitated, and because there's no Mercury. And I would say the early part of October, just be careful at that time. And look after yourself. You're maybe paying too much attention to creativity, to children, and not enough to yourself. Gemini, Venus in Virgo, fourth house. Fourth house is generally a good transit for Venus. So even though it's in Virgo, it is with your Lagna Lord. So remember that few days when Venus and Mercury are in war, you can feel aggravated 12th to 15th. But after that, energy is uplifting for you. You're also getting good ideas. You'll be thinking about your home, about happiness. Don't overanalyze it. Let things go, what you can't resolve at this time. Cancer, a lot of planets coming into your third house. So it's about self-effort, ideas. You have so many different ideas coming your way. Even the new moon is in Cancer. So there are going to be at one time 4 planets in your third house. So there are 4 different ideas where your life is taking you. So I would say the best thing at this stage is to explore those ideas, but not act on them, because you may be making some hurried decisions that you can regret. Leo, Virgo is the second house. It's all about money. But remember that Venus is debilitated, so it can make you think about taking shortcuts regarding saving or your finances. And career also can be less than perfect at this stage. So be careful about that. Not push for things that are not seem too good to be true. Take time about investment and do sober investments if you want to do. As far as Virgo is concerned, you're in a good space because Venus is a good planet, but Mercury is there. Your Lagna Lord is strong. But Venus in Virgo, for you, it is one of your best planets. So even though he is debilitated, you'll get positive energy from it. I would say watch out for 12th to 15th when Venus, Mercury are in war. And also watch out that you're not giving too much support to uplift people who are not appreciative of who you are and what you're doing. As far as Libra is concerned, I think for Libra, Venus in Virgo is the most difficult time always, because it's in the 12th house and you've got Mercury also in the 12th house, and Sun and Mars will also join. So this is not the easiest time for you. I've already said that in the Mercury video as well. So just be careful. And then Venus in Virgo will be creating a lot of expenses. So this is a time to take care of that and not spend on things that you can't afford, and wait till Venus goes into Libra to make any decision. And that's only up to the 3rd of this next month. So it's not that far away. So wait, and things will be much, much better. So that's my advice. As far as Scorpio is concerned, Venus is your rules house of relationships. It is in the house of money, but relationship area may be less than perfect. You may find partners are being overly critical. They are bothering you. And it's better to remain detached, not avoid getting into any conflict with them. But also financially, there can be some opportunities for you. But mostly you will feel less satisfied as far as relationships are concerned. So be careful about that. Sagittarius, Venus is in your 10th house of career, but he's the 6th house ruler. And the 11th house ruler. So 6th house can bring some obstacles as far as professional energy is concerned, but Mercury is also there. This is quite energized. A lot of opportunities are there for you, but I always have to remind you that Saturn is transiting on your Lagna. So it isn't the easiest time, or if your moon is in Sagittarius, then Saturn, you're in Sarasati. So this is always a time to take it slow, but pay attention to your work and don't worry about the rewards, and you'll finally get rewarded for all this stress that you have dealt with. Capricorn, Venus is in the 9th house. For Capricorn, Venus is the best planet. So being debilitated means it's not giving you the best results at this time. So being a little bit exhausted and weary. It means that this particular period is not the perfect time for you. Also, Saturn is going to go direct, and Saturn-Ketu conjunction. So take as September as a month to take it slowly and carefully and not to rush into anything. Not that Capricorn like to rush into anything, but just to take a day at a time. Aquarius, Venus is going into your 8th house. Again, for Aquarius also, Venus is the best planet. And you are not getting most benefit out of it. And there can be some unexpected money, some unexpected changes taking place. So your plans do not go according to what you're thinking. Again, for Aquarius, Saturn, the next video I make, which is on Saturn, that is the key planet for you because it's going direct, it's conjoining with Ketu. And so Venus in the 8th house means that things get suddenly changed, the program changes, there can be some money coming your way. It's a good time to research, put your head down, do some work, get your projects, but don't expect them to go according to plan. And Pisces has Venus in Virgo in the 7th house with Mercury, with the Sun later on. So this is not the easiest time for you. Relationships are very much important, but it can also mean that you feel aggravated in relationships, being too critical, a lot of time being spent in that area. And some kind of opposition or difficulty can come your way. But what is there to remember is that Jupiter is in a good position. So overall, you're very much able to manage, even though, Venus is going to be in your 7th house with Mercury. So it is going to create some difficulty regarding marriage and relationships for you. So that is it for this video. And as I said, that the next video is going to be Saturn Ketu, Saturn going direct. So wait for that. It'll be in a few days. I'll post that as well. And do remember to subscribe and press the bell notification. And